Hi, my name is Shannon Bennett, and this is my persuasive speech on vending fat kids, and this is my audience. Think back to the year 1980, any junior high classroom in the U.S. There sit 30 semi-interested 13-year-old kids. They all seem average at first glance, all except for one kid near the back. He is much bigger than the other kids. In fact, he is obese. Now, fast forward to today, same classroom, 30 new kids. The difference is that there are 6 kids who are obese. According to the Center for Disease Control, childhood obesity has increased from 6% 30 years ago to 20% today. There are many contributing factors in obesity in children. However, I would like to talk to you about just one way in which parents can work with schools to decrease childhood obesity. If you go into most junior high or high schools, you will find vending machines that are filled with high-calorie, low nutritionally valued foods. Parents have very little say in what their children are eating at school when there are soda and food vending machines filled with unhealthy options that appeal to teens. I propose that parents join together with the school systems to replace these machines full of unhealthy foods and replace them with better snack choices. The first step in understanding the problem is getting a real idea of childhood obesity epidemic. The most widely accepted screening tool for obesity is a BMI or body mass index screening. BMI is figured using a weight-height formula to gain a basic idea of body fatness, but does not directly measure body fat. According to the Center for Disease Control, children who fall between the 85th and 94th percentile are overweight, and those in the 95th and above are considered obese. So you ask, what is the big deal about a few chunky kids running around? Who are they hurting anyhow? These kids are seriously hurting themselves, and the associated healthcare needs from obesity-related disorders cause a burden on healthcare resources such as Medicaid. Some of the more serious healthcare problems associated with obesity is diabetes. Onset of diabetes in children and teens can result in complications such as cardiovascular disease and kidney disease. Cardiovascular disease in children includes high cholesterol levels, high blood pressure, and abnormal glucose tolerance. These are just a few of the things that science can test for. It does not include the psychosocial effects that can cause lifelong suffering in these children. These children are discriminated against early on, and it can cause low self-esteem, which can hinder success socially and academically. There are many things that can be done to reduce childhood obesity, including increasing exercise. The Surgeon General recommends children have 60 minutes of physical activity on most days of the week. They also suggest limiting sedentary activity to less than 2 hours a day. Teaching children nutritional information and portion control is also very important in fighting obesity in children. Even in a perfect world, with a child willing to eat healthy and get regular exercise, there are still 8 to 10 hours a day where children are free from their parents. They spend most of this time sitting, listening, and learning, with only a very small amount of time allotted for physical activity. While the schools in this country have made great improvement in the school lunch programs, budget constraints have brought in multitudes of vending machines that are full of food and drinks that are sugar-laden with very little nutritional value. Many parents mistakenly assume that when they send their child off to school with lunch money, that their child is buying a healthy school lunch. Reality shows that many kids choose junk food rather than boring school lunches. A nationwide survey of vending machines in middle schools and high school find that 75% of the drinks and 85% of the snacks sold are of poor nutritional value. The Center for Science of Public Interest completed a study of more than 1,400 vending machines in different schools. The study concluded that more than 70% of drinks were sugary drinks such as soda. Of the food that was vended, more than 80% was considered to be unhealthy. Of all the vending slots studied, more than 9,000 in all, only 26 of those slots contained fruits or vegetables. It's fairly common knowledge that food that comes from most vending machines is not going to be of good nutritional value. So why have schools put these machines into schools for children to waste their lunch money on? The answer is simple: they increase revenue for the schools. Many schools are suffering from budget cuts and trying to find a way to keep current with computers and other programs. Kids typically love junk food, and they're willing to pump lots of money into a machine that spits out junk. This creates generous profits for the school systems. But in the school's rush to keep up financially, our children are getting fatter. The answers are not easy. In fact, according to the National Conference of State Legislators Health Policy Tracking Service, many schools raise as much as $100,000 a year from vending contracts. So what can we do about this? These are huge contracts that the major vendors such as Coke and Pepsi contribute money up to $100,000 a year to these schools. While these types of contracts are almost impossible to beat, there are options that will benefit the kids and still help the schools. One such program is called Yo Naturals. Schools are able to lease these machines with no money down, low weekly payments, and the schools are able to keep 100% of the profits. Some of the brands found in these machines include Hanson's Naturals, Honest Beverages, Cliff Bar, Arrowhead Water, Function Drinks, Stacy's Pita Chips, Milk, Late July, and Kashi. For the health of future generations, it is important that we work together to initiate change now. Today, I'm going to pass around a petition that requests the school board to hear our concerns over vending machines in the local schools. I am asking that each of you would consider signing it. This petition will help to raise the attention of those who truly can bring about change to our children. Obesity can be a debilitating problem to our children, now and in their futures. Illnesses brought on by obesity, such as diabetes and asthma, can be prevented with a nutritious diet and exercise. Vending machines are tempting to even the healthiest minded person. Our kids are bombarded by this temptation for 9 hours a day. By changing the options available to them, we are encouraging lifelong healthy eating habits and preventing these kids from excessive calorie consumption. Let's make a change for the future of our children.